The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew. When the Pharisees heard that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered together. And one of them, a scholar of the law, tested him by asking, "Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest?" Jesus said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment. The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. The whole law and the prophets depend on these two commandments." Sisters and brothers, the Gospel of the Lord. A visionary once had a dream. And in his vision, he dreamt of an angel walking in the middle of the road with a flaming torch in hand and a pail of water in the other. And so he went up to the angel and said, "Angel, tell me, what do you plan to do with this flaming torch and this pail of water?" And the angel, still having its eyes fixed on a distance, said to the man, "With this burning torch, I intend to burn down the mansions of heaven. And with the pail of water, I'm going to put out the flames of hell. And then we'll see who really loves God." My dear sisters and brothers, it is our everyday experience that people love God for love of heaven or for fear of hell. It is this that keeps them getting closer to God. But do they really draw closer to God? Do they love God? Do they fall in love with God? Or for that matter, you and I are baptized Catholics, and we try to fulfill our religious duties. But again, you heard me say religious duties. Do we come to church, or do we do all that we do for love of God or because of a sense of obligation? Is it because we are driven by our so-called Catholic guilt, or is it because you and I feel drawn to get closer to God, to know Him, to love Him, and to fall in love with Him? Our God is a personal God, not just a distant deity who remains invisible and inaccessible. He is not an impersonal God, a God who is so personal that He would become one of us, putting on our own flesh and blood. And He would come asking for a drink. He would come wanting to stay in our house, as the case is with the Samaritan woman or with Zacchaeus. A God who wants to be close to us, a God who's all the time inviting us to enter into this love relationship with Him. At the end of the day, Christianity is not just a religion, it is a relationship. And that is why whenever we look to the God that we love, we name Him not by a proper name, but by a relationship. We believe in a Father, in a Son, and in the Spirit between them. A God who is a relationship, a God who is a family of persons. And it is this God that says to us today, you shall love me with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, with all your strength. And in the same breath, He tells us, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Actually, while talking to us, Jesus would go one step further. When He invites us to love our neighbor, He would say, love one another as I have loved you. And that would mean that we are prepared to let our body be broken for the other, that we be willing to lay down our life for the well-being of the other. And so, let's love the Lord with all our heart, with all our soul, with all our might, and with all our strength. And then we will also love our neighbor as Christ loves us.